students, welcome in today's video lecture of class 11th physics. Today I am going to give you a brief description of introduction of syllabus of your class 11th physics. In your physics you have to study about 10 units. Total units are 10, which comprises of 15 chapters. As you see, the 10 units are mentioned on the board. The first unit is of physical world and measurement. Second unit is kinematics. Unit third is laws of motion. Unit 4 is work, energy and power. Unit 5 is motion of system, particles and rigid body. Unit 6 is gravitation. Unit 7 is the properties of bulk matter. Unit 8 is thermodynamics. Unit 9 is kinetic theory of gases. Unit 10 is oscillation and waves. These are the 10 units which we have to study in the class 11 physics syllabus. Now, this unit comprises of some chapters which are as follows. Now, the unit 1 comprises of two chapters. Chapter 1, that is physical world. In physical world, what we have to study? In this, we have to study about what is the term meaning physics, what is the meaning of the word physics, what are the scope of physics, what are the inventions related to the society, and what is the scope of physics and what are the excitement of the physics. In this chapter, we have to study these topics. Now, moving to the second chapter, chapter number 2, units and measurement. In this, we have to study about quantities, units, what is measurement, why do we need measurement, and what are the quantities of measurement, that is units. How can we measure something with the help of units? Next thing, we have to study about dimensional formula, the most important thing of this chapter. And the next thing is dimensional analysis. This is also the most important thing of this chapter. Dimensional formula and dimensional analysis is the major part of this chapter, units and measurement. Now moving on, unit 2 comprises of two chapters. Chapter number 3, that is motion in a straight line. In this chapter, we have to study about some basic topic which you have already studied in your previous class, that is motion. What is motion? What is the meaning of term rest with a point of reference? Next thing is uniform motion. What is non-uniform motion? Average speed, average velocity, spontaneous speed, spontaneous velocity, and some graphical representation of speed time graph, velocity time graph, acceleration time graph, and what is average speed and average velocity. These are the topics which we are going to study in motion in a straight line chapter. This is the chapter which you have already studied in your previous class, in class 9th as well. Now moving on to the chapter number 4, that is motion in a plane. Motion in a plane. In this chapter we have to study about the quantities, that is a scalar quantity, vector quantity. Scalar, what is a scalar quantity, what is a vector quantity, what is a vector addition, vector multiplication and vector subtraction. These are the major topics: vector addition, vector multiplication, vector subtraction, and some basic and the most important topic of this chapter are also relative velocity. What is the meaning of relative velocity, and some numericals on this topic. Now the next thing, we are going to study about some scalar product and dot product, which covers the major part of this chapter. कि स्केलर प्रोडक्ट क्या चीज है, डॉट प्रोडक्ट क्या चीज है, इसकी बेसिस पे न्यूमेरिकल्स हम इस चैप्टर में स्टडी कर रहे हैं. नाउ मूविंग ऑन विद द यूनिट नंबर 3, दैट इज चैप्टर नंबर 5, लॉज ऑफ मोशन. एज दिस इज क्लियर फ्रॉम द नेम ऑफ द चैप्टर, in this chapter we have to study about what are the laws of motion. First law, second, these are the laws we have to study about this. First law, second law, third law, and the conservation of momentum. This is the topic which you have already studied in your previous class, conservation of momentum. Next thing is the centripetal force. Centripetal force is the next topic which you have already studied in your previous class. And the major topic of this chapter is banking. Banking of road. Banking का मतलब यहाँ पर बैंक से नहीं है. Banking of road का मतलब है जब किसी मोड़ पर हमने देखा होगा कि रोड किसी पोर्शन से ऊपर की तरफ लिफ्ट अप होती है, एक तरफ से डाउनवर्ड लिफ्ट होती है. इस तरीके की पोजीशन क्यों होती है, दैट इज द बैंकिंग ऑफ रोड. इसकी जरूरत हमें क्यों पड़ती है ये हम इसमें पढ़ने वाले हैं. Now banking is the most important topic of this chapter. On this basis you have to study about a derivation and some numerical problems based on the topic banking of road. Now moving on to unit number 4, that is chapter number 6, work, energy and power. Work, energy and power. In this we have to study about the major topic is work energy theorem. What is work energy theorem? What is the applicability of the work energy theorem? Next is potential energy and kinetic energy, which you have already studied in your previous class. And the major topic of this chapter is elastic and inelastic collision. What is elastic collision and what is inelastic collision? These are the major topics of this chapter. Moving on to the next unit, unit number 5, which comprises of one chapter, that is chapter number 7, system of particles and rotational motion. In this chapter we have to study about center of mass. Center of mass. Next topic is torque. Center of mass, torque, and equation of rotational motion, moment of inertia, equation of rotational motion. These are the main topics of this chapter, and the most important topic, that is the statement of parallel axis and perpendicular axis. This is the major topic of this chapter, which is mostly appears in the exam as a short answer type question. Now moving on to the next unit, unit number 6, which comprises of again one chapter, that is gravitation. Now in gravitation what we have to study? In gravitation we have to study about Kepler's law of planetary motion, acceleration due to gravity, due to G, acceleration due to gravity. Next is orbital velocity, and the next is escape velocity. And again the most important topic of this chapter is value of G on the surface of Earth, below the surface of Earth, and above the and on the surface of Earth. These are the main topic of this chapter. Now moving on to the next unit, which is slightly big unit. As you can see, it comprises of 3 chapters: chapter number 9, chapter number 10, chapter number 11. Chapter number 9 is mechanical properties of solid. In this chapter we have to study about what is stress, what is strain, what is Young's modulus, what is bulk modulus, what is Hooke's law, Poisson's ratio, stress, strain. These are the main topics of this chapter. Hooke's law is also the most important topic. Now moving on to the chapter number 10, mechanical properties of fluid. Basically, mechanical properties of fluid comprises of more question as compared to the other units of this syllabus, because it comprises of some major topics which you are going to study The major topics are as follows. Like in this we have to study about Pascal's law, viscosity, and the next thing is Stokes law, Bernoulli's theorem. The most important topic is Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem and their applications are the most important topic of this chapter. Next is surface tension, critical velocity, capillarity, and maybe you can say laminar flow, turbulent flow, streamlined flow. These are the main topics of this chapter. Ascent formula, the main derivation ascent formula is also the major topic. Now moving on to the chapter number 11, that is the thermal properties of matter. In this we have to study about heat, temperature, CPCV, and heat, temperature, CPCV, specific heat. Now, what are the modes of transfer of heat? That is conduction, convection, and radiation. And again, the most important topic is Stephen's law, Wien's displacement law. These are the main topics of this chapter. Now, moving on to the next unit number 8, which comprises of again one chapter, that is thermodynamics. In this, we have to study about what is heat, what is work, and the most important topic of this chapter is Carnot engine, refrigerator, heat engine, internal energy, entropy, and some more topics. Now moving to the next unit number 9, which comprises of again one single chapter, that is chapter number 13, kinetic theory of gas. बच्चों चैप्टर नंबर 13 है काइनेटिक थ्योरी ऑफ गैसेस। इसमें हमें कुछ चीजें पढ़नी हैं। जैसे पहला तो टॉपिक आपका आ जाएगा एवोगैड्रो नंबर, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। फिर आ जाएगा मीन फ्री पाथ, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स हैं ये। इसके बाद डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम, ये आपको आगे भी काम आने वाला है। डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम आगे भी आप क्लासों में डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम के बारे में स्टडी करेंगे। इसके बाद लॉ ऑफ इक्विपार्टीशन ऑफ एनर्जी, इक्विपार्टीशन ऑफ एनर्जी, ये मेजर टॉपिक्स हैं काइनेटिक थ्योरी ऑफ गैसेस के। नेक्स्ट यूनिट नंबर 10, which comprises of again two chapters. Unit chapter number 14. Chapter number 14 है oscillation periodic motion. Oscillation periodic motion, इसमें सबसे पहला जो टॉपिक हम पढ़ने वाले हैं बच्चों वो है सिंपल हार्मोनिक मोशन, जिसे हम डिनोट करते हैं SHM से। सिंपल हार्मोनिक मोशन क्या चीज है, एनर्जी क्या है सिंपल हार्मोनिक मोशन की। इसके बाद हम पढ़ेंगे इसमें सिंपल पेंडुलम, इसके लिए एक्सप्रेशन को रिड्यूस करेंगे, सिंपल पेंडुलम के एक्सप्रेशन को। इसके बाद ऑसिलेशन कैसे कैसे होते हैं, तो पहले होते हैं फ्री होते हैं, डैम्प्ड होते हैं, ये दोनों ऑसिलेशन के बारे में पढ़ना है। फोर्स्ड भी होता है ऑसिलेशन, इसके बारे में आपको इसमें पढ़ना पड़ेगा। ऑसिलेशन क्या चीजें हैं ये सब इसमें आपको पढ़ना है। लास्ट चैप्टर आ जाता है चैप्टर नंबर 15, दैट इज वेव्स। इस वेव्स में आपको पढ़ना है ट्रांसवर्स और लॉन्गिट्यूडनल वेव क्या होती है, एंड लॉन्गिट्यूडनल वेव्स, ये आपने शायद 9th क्लास में ऑलरेडी पढ़ा हुआ है। इसके बाद डॉपलर इफेक्ट क्या है, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, एग्जाम में पूछा भी जाता है डॉपलर इफेक्ट क्या है। एंड द नेक्स्ट इज प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सुपरपोजिशन। तो ये था आपका सिलेबस, जहाँ पर हमने बात करी 15 यूनिट्स के बारे में और इसमें आने वाले 15 चैप्टर्स के बारे में और उसकी 10 यूनिट्स के बारे में। अब यहाँ से आपका सिलेबस स्टार्ट होता है, आपकी क्लासेस स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, वीडियो लेक्चर स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, हर एक टॉपिक के बारे में हम स्टडी करेंगे। सबसे पहले जो आपको यूनिट स्टार्ट होगी दैट इज यूनिट नंबर 1। पहला टॉपिक फिजिकल वर्ल्ड। फिजिकल वर्ल्ड आपका पहला चैप्टर है, वहां से स्टार्टिंग करेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो लेक्चर में। तो अपने नेक्स्ट वीडियो लेक्चर के लिए कॉपी और पेन निकाल लीजिए और तैयार हो जाइए।